بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا. Welcome my brothers in Islam to lesson 99 of Arabiyyah to Bayna Yadayk, book 1 part 1 of the new version. وقفنا أيها الإخوة عند الصفحة 225. We stopped at page 225 of Arabiyyah to Bayna Yadayk, at the vocabulary that inshallah will be added to your already existed vocabulary, what is a very good thing. And I was speaking about ismu al-jinsi al-jam'i, this type of plural where you add the ta marbuta to make it singular. And these types of plurals, my brothers in Islam, you can deal with it in a masculine and in a feminine way. I have here two ayat, my brothers in Islam, two separate ayat, where we find this word, the word nakhlin. Originally it's nakhlun, but it's mudafun ilayh. So nakhlun, my brothers in Islam, hada ismu jinsin jam'iyun, okay? And its single form is nakhlatun. One palm tree is a nakhlatun. And how do we deal with this nakhlin? Do we say hada nakhlun or hadihi nakhlun? Actually, you can say it both. So when it comes to ismu jinsin jam'iyun, you can go both sides. You can use it in a masculine way. You can deal with it in a masculine way by pointing to it with a masculine pointing now, hada nakhlun, or in a feminine way, hadihi nakhlun. Focus with me on this word, because this word will be decisive and will be our main focus now. The word khawiyatin. As you know, my brothers in Islam, the na'tun or sifatun, what is an adjective, it follows the previous word in its masculinity or in its femininity if it's feminine. So for example, a beautiful house. A house is a masculine word. Baytun jamilun. A beautiful school. A school is feminine, so the adjective has to be likewise. Madrasatun jamilatun. A big masjid. Masjidun kabirun. A big bag. Haqibatun kabiratun. So the adjective follows always the same gender, as you know. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in this ayah, أعجاز نخل خاوية. Surah Al-Haqqa, Al-Ayatu Sabi'atu, the 7th ayah of Surah Haqqa. And each of you who knows a little bit of grammar knows that this is a feminine adjective, خاوية. Okay? Because it ends on ta marbuta. So this word is now being dealt with in a feminine way. أعجاز نخل خاوية. But look to this ayah. وقال تعالى, and Allah the Exalted said, أعجاز نخل منقعر. And this adjective, this adjective, منقعر, or when you stop منقعر, is a masculine adjective. Subhanallah, Surah Al-Qamar 20. So you see now that the ismul jins al-jam'i in this ayah is being dealt with in what? In a masculine way. Okay, I've mentioned before other examples. So this is something I just wanted to share with you, my brothers in Islam. Before going further in the vocabulary, inshallah, to increase our vocabulary and the vocabulary of our brothers. So when it comes to sha'run, hada ismun ismu jinsin jam'iyun. Now I'm just looking to a hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari. Now, hadith Sahih al-Bukhari 3464, Sahih al-Bukhari, on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, a very long hadith about the three men, and one of them, he had a bald head. He had no hair on his head. So somebody came to him and he said, أي شيء أحب إليك? What is the most beloved to you? قال شعر حسن. Good hair. شعر حسن. نعم. Because people used to look down upon him because he had no hair. نعم. And the other one, he wanted jildun hasanun. He had a problem with his skin, and he wanted jildun hasanun. And I don't think we will go through the word jildun because it's not a part of the vocabulary here. نعم. جلد جيم لام دال skin. جلد. And the plural form is juludun, with a waw, skins. And basharatun can also be skin. It's also another word for skin. Anyway, this is just extra information. Focus, my brothers in Islam, to the word sha'run. So we start, inshallah, with the word sha'run, what is hair in general, so plural form. Sha'ruka jamilun, your hair is beautiful. And like I said, it's ismu jinsin jam'iyun, and one piece of hair is called sha'ratun. Sha'ratun. والجمع الآخر is لكلمة شعرة, for the word sha'ratun, there is another plural, and it is ash'arun. Ash'arun is also hair in plural. Okay, so one piece of hair is sha'ratun. One piece of hair is what? Sha'ratun. As for the plural, there are many plurals, subhanAllah, of this word. We have sha'run, which is ismu jinsin jam'iyun, what is a plural on itself. We have also ash'arun, what is hair. So when I say hair, it has to be three or more. Okay, sha'ratani are two pieces of hair, so the plural starts from three onwards. So ash'arun is mentioned kamafi, as in Suratul Nahli, the bee. You see, Surah Al-Nahli, and this is ismu jinsin jam'iyun. هذا نحل or هذه نحل. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used a feminine way of with this with النحل. Okay, وأوحينا إلى النحل أن اتخذي. اتخذي is a feminine. وأوحى ربك إلى النحل أن اتخذي من الجبال بيوتا. So نحل is here in the ayah Surah Al-Nahl is dealt with in a feminine way. But this is not what I want to mention here. What I want to mention with concerning what I just mentioned, the word ash'arun is mentioned where? In Surah Al-Nahl, ayah 80. وجمعه أيضا, and its plural also is شعور. So how many plurals do we have? وأيضا شعرات. SubhanAllah, I was even thinking, I haven't seen a word that has so many plurals as hair. I don't say that doesn't exist. I don't say I have done a research about it. I'm just, when I made this note, I just came across so many plurals of sha'run, of sha'ratun, sorry. So I don't even know any plural form with so many plurals. So who of you knows how many plurals sha'ratun has? We have sha'run, ash'arun, shu'urun, and sha'aratun. We have 4 plurals. What is called arba'atu jumu'in. 4 plurals. واحد اثنان ثلاثة واسم الجنس 4 شعر. نعم. طيب ما هو الفرق بين what is the difference between hair شعر وشعر؟ ما معنى شعر؟ What means شعر? And this is an Urdu word as well. شعر is poetry. شعر is poetry. And when the Arabs want to emphasize the big amount of poetry, so if there's a lot of poetry, because shi'run can be a lot. It's a word that can be a little bit of poetry or a lot. But I just want to mention that the Arabs, when they want to emphasize the abundance, a lot of poetry, they say ash'arun. You see, al-jam'u is ash'arun. This is what you will find in the Arabic dictionary. The plural of poetry is of shi'run is ash'arun. أما as for بيت من الشعر, بيت من الشعر, and this is an important word. When it comes to poetry, my brothers in Islam, even in other than Arabic language, poetry consists of lines, okay? Lines of poetry. So one line of poetry, we don't call it satrun, because that's a line in a notebook. We don't call it khattun. Khattun is a line that you draw, but we call it baytun. Baytun is one line of poetry, clear? And the Arabic poetry, each line consists of 2 phrases, okay? Two parts, okay? So baytun min al-shi'ri, one bayt of a shi'r is one line of poetry. And baytun means house. But when it comes to the plural of baytun, meaning when we talk about poetry, because we know that houses is buyutun. Buyutun are houses. Okay, wow, open ta. But when it comes to lines of poetry, you say abiyatun. You see, abiyatun. Okay, this is not a word that you use for houses. We use buyutun for houses and abiyatun for lines of poetry, plural, abiyatun. Okay, and the first line of the poetry, the first poetry line is called sadrun or sadrul bayti, and the ajzun is the second part of the bayt, of the line of poetry. Ain, jim, zai. Sadrun, sad, dal, ra. And another thing, my brothers in Islam, ما هو الفرق بين شعر and شعر? شعر is hair, اسم جنس جمعي, as I've mentioned before. As for شعر, أما شعر, I've told you before that most of the verbs, they have 3 letters and 3 fatha in the he form past tense. I repeat, most of the verbs, they consist of 3 letters and all 3 have a fatha in the he past tense. So qara'a is he read, kataba he wrote, akala he ate. As for sha'ara is he felt. And this is a verb, inshallah, that we go through, inshallah, in more detail in the green book, inshallah. In the first green book, we will have this verb. So even if you go over it or you leave it now, you will go through it anyway, inshallah. So sha'ara is he felt. But the special thing about this verb is that sha'ara always goes with be. And you know that be means with, but be cannot be translated into English because it's just like a part of the verb. It goes with the verb. You cannot leave it. Okay? It's just like going. The word going goes with what? To in English. I'm going to. Okay? You don't say I'm going market. No, you don't say that unless your English is very bad. I'm going market. I'm going to the market. Okay? The house is far masjid. No, the house is far from the masjid. Likewise, in Arabic we say al-baytu ba'idun anil masjid. An is also from. So it's just like English. But sha'ara always goes with be. So sha'ara Khalidun, Khalid felt. Sha'ara Khalidun bi'alamin. Khalid felt pain. Why is the meme with the kasratain? لماذا الميم مكسورة? Why is the meme with كسرة? لأن الباء حرف جر, because the باء is a preposition and ألم is اسم مجرور, it's affected by the B. So شعر always goes with B, and يشعر is he's feeling, goes also with B. All these derivations, they go with B. Okay, it can be something what is negative or pain. Pain is normally alamun, but now it's alamin with the hamzat al-qata, strong hamza. I give you an example of the present tense verb, something what is positive. And pain can also be positive because it wipes out the sins of the believer. So yash'ur is he's feeling. So Khalid is feeling happy. يشعر خالد بالسرور. It's with the sin. بالسرور. Ba, and then with alif hamzat al-wasl, sorry, and lam بالسرور, sin. Or يشعر خالد بالسعادة. It's also happiness, just like السرور. يشعر خالد بالفرح. Khalid's feeling happy. So you see, شعر يشعر goes always be with B. Okay, and inshallah we will get like stomach, headache, we will get those nouns inshallah. So sha'ara yash'uru goes with B. Shu'uran, feeling. Shu'urun bil farahi, feeling happy. Shu'urun is the masdar. That's why it has two fatha here. فهو شاعر بالألم, so he's feeling pain. And شاعر is not only the one who's feeling, and شاعر بالفرح, I'm feeling happy. This is اسم فاعل. شاعر has a totally different meaning, and we have just spoke about the other meaning, and that is a poet. So somebody who's doing a shi'r. هو شاعر, he's a poet. والجمع شعراء, and that's one of the great surahs of the Quran, and all surahs of the Quran are great. شعراء ممنوع من الصرف has one ضمة. Okay, and they're poets. والمفعول مشعور, and the اسم مفعول is مشعور. Maybe it means felt, but I'm not totally sure. الله أعلم. بعد ذلك أيها الإخوة رأس. ما معنى رأس؟ رأس is the head. رأس is a head. ورأس كلمة مذكرة, it's a masculine word, or you can say اسم مذكر, a masculine noun. والجمع, the plural form of رأس is رؤوس. Okay, this comes in the Quran. The plural form comes in the Quran. نعم. إذن رؤوس بالهمزة على الواو, with the hamza on the waw. And when the hamza comes on something, it takes over the letter. So this is not a waw anymore. This is now called the hamza. It's a huge mistake to say this is a waw. Okay, the hamza is now in control. You call this a hamza على الواو. Okay, you don't say this is a waw. No, it's now a hamza. Okay, رؤوس. And to stretch the hamza, to stretch the dam of the hamza, we need a waw. رؤوس. Some extra information. هناك معلومات إضافية, additional information that I want to share with you while speaking about the head. And before going to the eye and to the nose, inshallah, there are some things that are extra information. جمجمة. ما معنى جمجمة؟ جمجمة وهو اسم مؤنث. It's a feminine noun, although there is only one of them in the human body. That is a skull. جمجمة. والجمع جماجم ممنوع من الصرف. أيضا دماغ. دماغ is brain. دماغ is brain. والجمع أدمغة. أدمغة. نعم. وهي كلمة مذكرة. It's a masculine word. الجمع أدمغة brains. وبعد ذلك after that جبهة. Okay, we have another word, جبهة. جبهة. What is the forehead? جبهة كلمة مذكرة. It's a masculine word. والجمع جباه. And the Muslim, he makes sujood on the جبهة, like the Prophet ﷺ, as in Sahih Muslim, as in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that is narrated by Imam Muslim. The Prophet ﷺ used to make a sajda on the jabhatun, the forehead, and also on the nose at the same time. And those who are, I'm not a scholar of tafsir, but you can go back to the ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَالَّذِينَ يَكْنِزُونَ الذَّهَبَ وَالْفِضَّةَ وَلَا يُنْفِقُونَها فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ فَبَشِّرْهُم بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the ayah after that the word jibahun. The jibahun, the foreheads, are one of the parts that will be burnt by those who don't give zakat. Those who hide their money and their wealth and don't give zakat. In Surah At-Tawbah 35, يوم يحمى عليها يوم يحمى عليها في نار جهنم فتكوى بها جباههم وجنوبهم وظهورهم هذا ما كنزتم لأنفسكم فذوقوا ما كنتم تكنزون. On the day when that between two brackets money, gold, silver, the zakat which has not been paid will be heated in the fire of hell. Okay, brothers, these monies, these types of monies will be heated in the fire of hell, and with it will be branded their jibahuhum. Look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, jibahuhum, and the translation here is foreheads. Okay, their foreheads will be burnt with it. وَجُنُوبُهُم, and their flanks. وَظُهُورُهُم, and their backs. Brothers in Islam, this takes us back to what I said in the beginning, the importance of knowing the body parts. We're just going through an ayah in the Quran Surah At-Tawbah 35, where three body parts are being mentioned in the plural form. Okay, so knowing the plural form is also important, as you can see. None of them here is mentioned in the single form. Yeah, and then it will be said unto them, this is the treasure which you hoarded for yourselves. Now taste of what you used to hoard. So brothers in Islam, don't think too light about giving a zakat. Subhanallah. Zakat, it's not a joke. And this ayah should be a wake up, awakening. And then, my brothers in Islam, we going to another word that has not been mentioned here, and they're not to blame totally, alhamdulillah, they're totally not to blame, they just want to, they don't want to give too much vocabulary in one time, and that is the word wajhun. Wajhun is face. وهي كلمة مذكرة, it's a masculine word, والجمع وجوه. وهذه الكلمة في القرآن, الجمع في القرآن. وجوه يومئذ ناظرة. So وجوه, faces. وبعد ذلك كلمة إضافية, additional word, حاجب. حاجب وهي كلمة مذكرة, it's a masculine word. حاجب is an eyebrow. One eyebrow is حاجب. والجمع حواجب. نعم, the plural is حواجب. نعم. And as you know in the authentic hadith, the woman that takes from her hajib, she's cursed. It's not allowed to take from the hajib. وهي كلمة ممنوعة من الصرف. الجمع, the plural form, is ممنوع من الصرف. نعم, has one dhamma because it has the famous what? It has the famous pattern of فواعل or مفاعل, like masajidu, mosques, mafatihu, mafatihu, keys, etc. So even if you don't know the word, you hear hawajibu, you think about, hey, masajidu, mafatihu, jawami'u, etc. بعد ذلك نذهب إلى الكلمة الثالثة في الترتيب. Then we go to the third word in the order, and that is عين. Before going to أذن, we go to عين. ما معنى عين? What means عين? وهي كلمة مؤنثة. This is feminine word. It's good to know it is feminine, because if you say to an Arabic person هذا عين, he will say no, هذه عين. This is an eye. هذه. He will correct you to use هذه. Or you say a beautiful eye, عين جميل. He say no, عين جميلة, feminine adjective, because it's a feminine word. عين. Okay. عين is also evil eye. العين is the evil eye. So عين is one eye. والجمع أو قبل الجمع, before the plural form, المثنى, the dual form, المثنى عينان. عينان. And as you know, عينين, as in Surah Al-Balad. Surah Al-Balad is عينين because it's مفعول به in that ayah. So when it's an object, the dual form becomes with a ya instead of an alif. And the noon stays always with kasra in the dual form. So عينان are two eyes. Or when you put a preposition before it, okay, ألم في العينين, pain in the two eyes. So عينان are two eyes. How do you say my two eyes? It's عينايا. Okay. Or in some situations, عينيا. Okay. When again you have when it's an object, or when it's mudafun ilay or after harfu jarrin. In these three situations, it's aynaya. Normally it's aynaya, my two eyes. Both means my two eyes. Aynaya, aynaya. But this is all extra information. Well, jam'u, the plural form is a'yunun, eyes. A'yunun are eyes. Wal-aynu, and the ayn has also another meaning, a very beautiful meaning. And this meaning comes in the Quran. It's what? A spring. A water spring. So aynun is also a spring. And it's also feminine in that meaning, just like the eye in the face. But one thing I want to clarify here, هناك شيء أريد أن أوضحه, something I want to clarify, وهو, and that is أن جمع عين, the plural of عين, بهذا المعنى, with this meaning, is عيون. So water springs is عيون and not أعين. Clear? Water springs is what? عيون. As for the eyes in the face, it's أعين. قال الله تعالى, Allah the Exalted said, عن الجنة, about the paradise. عن means also about, and it's a حرف جر in الجنة. عن الجنة, he said, عينا فيها تسمى سلسبيلا. عينا فيها تسمى سلسبيلا. Surah Al-Insan 18. A spring there in the paradise called Salsabil. So in the paradise, may Allah make us from those who are going to see that spring. There is a spring in the paradise, and the name of this spring is called Salsabil. Okay, Salsabila, it has here two fatha because it's a grammatical situation. And if the aynun was a masculine word, it would be yusamma, is named, is called yusamma if it's a masculine word. But aynun is a feminine word, so you don't say yusamma, okay? You say tusamma, okay? Hada yusamma qalaman. This is called qalam. If I have a back, hadihi tusamma. You see, I used tusamma because it's feminine. Hadihi tusamma haqiba. Okay, Surah Al-Insan 18. And inshallah we'll stop here until the next class, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.